Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With ORRETT Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, ORRETT Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 29th day of October 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday. And birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. And of course, our prayers and our thoughts go out to the people of Jamaica and, of course, Cuba as well, which is being affected by Hurricane Melissa at this point in time. So I'm going to dispense with many of the formalities this morning. If you have a birthday shout out, please send it to us at our WhatsApp number 925-3261, and somewhere during the course of the show this morning, usually when we return from a commercial break, I will share those birthday shout outs. But what we are here to do this morning is to talk about the Hurricane Melissa, the people of Jamaica, the efforts that will be made here in the Cayman Islands to render assistance. And we want to give you guidance and advice on how that is to be done as well. So it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning the executive director. I'll give her that title, even if it may not be that title, but from the Cayman Islands Red Cross, Miss Jondo, and of course the director of hazard management, Cayman Islands, Miss Danielle Coleman. Ladies, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Jondo, and good morning to all our listeners today.
Good morning.
Okay. Jondo. Okay. So, again, Cayman Islands were spared. Extremely grateful. But at the same time, we our thoughts and our prayers, and even more than that, our actions now will be directed towards the people, of Jamaica. And I'm going to throw the mic over to you, Ms. Danielle, to tell us, what has been done so far during the course of the hurricane, what we're doing as well, and what we're looking forward in terms of our future assistance.
Thank you very much, OC. And again, a very big morning to everyone out there listening this morning. So a lot's been going on this week. Obviously, Cayman was under threat for a very long time over the last 7 days. And of course, we had to activate our own responses or our own preparedness. A lot of communications going out about preparedness, sandbag stations working very closely with our community emergency response teams, Regiment and the Red Cross, and just getting all our shelters ready and all our CERT teams ready. And there's so much that goes into the preparedness before a storm, even if the storm doesn't happen, because we can't ever be caught on the back foot. So making sure all those systems were ready to go. Obviously liaising with our food, distributors and making sure that we've got enough for aftermath. And, there's, as I say, there's so many moving parts that goes into a lot of mapping, for example. So we've done all that last week. Unfortunately, we didn't have to use it for ourselves. Again, I think we were incredibly lucky this week. But again, my heart goes out so much to everyone in Jamaica right now, and again Cuba and whoever's after that, because it's just what we're seeing right now. The photographs are really very devastating. We understand again from the National Hurricane Center, the World Meteorological Organization's called it the storm of a century. And again, the National Hurricane Center said the impacts will be catastrophic and life-threatening, with up to potentially 1.5 million people affected potentially. So, that just goes to show how many people right now are already impacted, and also how many people will be impacted in the future. So whilst, obviously we've been spared, there's a lot we can do to help others. And I think as good neighbours, there's an obligation on us, both the government, but also the people of the Cayman Islands who are in a position to assist. It's to find out ways how we can assist and assist responsibly, as opposed to obviously sending a load of stuff that's not required and blocking the supply chain. So I think there's lots going on now in regards to relief and how we make sure that we coordinate together. We work very much with the voluntary agency responders, which is chaired by the Red Cross, and again, making sure we do this well and in a dignified manner, and sending, again, life-saving equipment as a priority, as opposed to blocking the supply chain with unnecessary items.
Exactly. Ms. Jondo.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Danny just spoke about preparation, and one of the things I want to touch on is that a lot of people think, the storm didn't come, so that was easy, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of meetings, a lot of gatherings, a lot of planning, a lot of strategic thinking. You think, what if? So you're thinking about contingency plans, and that takes a lot of time. But once that goes, there's a bit of excitement in the community, and the good thing about Cayman is that people are always willing to help. That's amazing. I mean, my phone started ringing on Saturday. What are we doing for the people of Jamaica? And I'm like, okay, let's wait first, and let's see what happens. And so there is a process, and we want to make sure people understand there's a process with everything there is. And so the main thing is that we need to, first of all, wait for the hurricane to pass. Secondly, we need to do some assessments, because if we don't assess, we don't know what's going on. So assessments are very important at this point. And so the government of Jamaica will be doing assessments, the Jamaican Red Cross will be doing assessments, and other organizations. And once we get the feedback, we can know how we're going to help them. So those people who are listening right now, please have a bit of patience. Disasters don't just happen in like one day. This is going to go on for a year or two. As we knew after Ivan, it takes a while. So let's exercise a bit of patience and let's work together. I think one of the things that Danny and I have been talking about during the week is what we called unsolicited goods. We've posted a lot of this on our social media pages, but because people have a feeling that they want to help, they want to go into their kitchens, they want to go into their closets and take stuff out. And that's commendable because you want to help. But the idea is that how are we going to do this in a collective way? So I think this afternoon at 12:30, we're having a meeting with all the volunteer agencies. It's called VARS, and this is chaired by the Red Cross. And we want to see how we can work collaboratively, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure all the good efforts are made to good use.
Okay, can you give some more details about this VARS meeting?
So VARS stands for, it's VARS, and it stands for Voluntary Agency Responders. And, we sort of got this from after Hurricane Ivan in 2004. Wow, it sounds like a very long time ago, but there were so many people doing good work out there, but nobody knew what anybody was doing. And so we weren't sure how how much of an impact we're having. Of course, it was our first time in a very long time, so everybody was just doing what they needed to do. And so under the NEOC structure, there is a EST called VARS.
EST is the Emergency Support Team.
Yeah, and VARS is chaired by the Red Cross to get all the voluntary agencies before the storm happens. So we had our meeting in August of this year. And we get everybody in the room and say, okay, well, if something happens, how can you support? Can you give manpower? Can you give monetary donations? Can you give relief supplies? What is it the organization can do? Because if we can bring that all together, we can have a much better approach. And so we're going to have a meeting today to see what's happening on that in that arena.
I think, again, it's a great point, Jondo. A lot of the voluntary agency responders came as a team together because the duplication we saw in Ivan, great ideas, lots of stuff going on, lots of donations happening, but there's nothing worse than sending duplicative items to different areas. So if, for example, I think in Ivan it was like sending lots of water to one place but actually sending food somewhere else, and so making sure that's coordinated, make sure that everyone understands what is getting sent and distributed. And again, we're making sure that we're complementing each other as charities and NGOs. It's like, how do we all work together to make sure that the right stuff's going and that we know what's available, and how do we work together? I mean, I think that partnership and that teamwork is so critical when it comes to relief in particular, but actually the whole process.
And also the recognition that Jamaica is a sovereign country, and we just simply can't walk in there and say that, we're going to give you this or this is what we're going to do. We can only do it with the acquiescence of the government of Jamaica, sometimes, even through them requesting it. So that is why it's so important that it is done through official channels like agency to agency, Red Cross, to Red Cross, hazard management, disaster management. That is extremely important as well. Now, what do we say to those individuals who may have family members that they want to send assistance to, or groups that may not be a part of the VARS organization? What do we say to them? Why don't we take a commercial break, and then when we return, we can talk more about that. Folks, the conversation is taking place with Miss Jondo Obe. I get that right. It's been quite a while since she's been on the show. Had her husband on here more than her recently. That may be a good thing. That means that your services may not be needed as and
well, they certainly are now. So
yes, they certainly are. So from the Red Cross, as well as Miss Danielle Coleman, who's the director of hazard management, Cayman Islands. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series. Brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Joseph James Anglin, 1899-1982.
Captain Joseph James Anglin was a sea captain who sailed to the Mosquito Keys, Nicaragua, Cuba, and Tampa, Florida. Married to Alvis Christina Chrissy Ebanks and the father of 12 children, he was a God-fearing Christian and a preacher in church. Known as a good neighbor, he helped to build a strong community.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central Cayman Islands, in association with the Cayman Islands Health Services Authority and the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, present East to West Health Check. Free for you, free for all. Free blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, body mass index screening and assessment. Free physician's consult. The 14th Annual Rotary Central Diabetes Awareness Screening. East End Health Center. Cost You Less West Bay, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Georgetown. Saturday, November 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The East to West Health Check, a Rotary Central community initiative.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
When you choose Cineco Motor Insurance, you're not just getting coverage. You're joining a community that cares about protecting you and your loved ones. Why Cineco? Personalized coverage tailored to your needs. 24/7 claim service, always just a call away. And peace of mind with CARE roadside assistance for flat tires to towing, anytime, anywhere in Cayman. Ready for a quote? Visit Cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio with me, we have Red Cross, the CEO of the Red Cross, Ms. Jondo Obi, and also from Hazard Management Cayman Islands, Ms. Danny Coleman. We're talking about relief efforts to Jamaica following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. We're giving you information, guidance as to how things are to go. We know that there are many people out there who want to contribute, want to help, and there are ways. There are the do's and the don'ts, as well. So, ladies, back over to you.
Thank you, OC. Again, at that question that came in about assisting family members.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the process of, as I mentioned, of trying to organise a relief flight. And again, that's relief that's been requested from the ODPEM, which is our counterparts in Jamaica, sort of the Hazard Management, Disaster Management Office over there. And we're working very closely with our regional counterparts at SEDEMA, which is the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, to make sure that we're sending the stuff that we actually has been requested. I really can't stress this enough. The unsolicited, which means things that haven't been asked for, items like clothes, like old shoes and whatever else, it really is not what Jamaica needs right now. Jamaica needs what they were asking for. We need to make sure we're giving in a very dignified way. They've obviously been through a heck of a lot in the last couple of days and will continue to do so for a very long time, I suspect. And we want to make sure that we're not adding to the burden, adding to the problem. So this relief flight that we're trying to organise, hopefully in the next day or two or a couple of days, will be full of stuff that's been requested by their office. And it's, we've got a list. It's things like tarpaulin, sanitation kits, cleaning kits and so forth. And this time at this flight, because of the short turnaround, I suspect it'll just be the government donations. And then maybe when things become a bit calmer and, the commercial flights open up, hopefully in Kingston soon, we can actually get other stuff over. But right now, we really want to focus on what's been requested by the Jamaican government. It's really important. And again, I think, by all means, I've seen a number of groups collecting items, like, having collection stands for people to drop things off at. If you do that, by all means, maybe instead of actually donating it to Jamaica, because right now they really don't need that stuff, it'll clog up the whole pipeline of emergency priority items, life-saving items. And maybe think about having a garage sale and donating the funds to a reputable charity like the Red Cross, like Rotary, and again, those kind of details will be highlighted very, very soon as to different ways to give from a cash basis. And talking about cash, cash is a really good way to give because one, it helps the Jamaican economy rebuild. Now that's assuming again that the markets are open. Obviously, there's no point in giving cash if you can't purchase stuff. But again, assuming the markets are open in Jamaica. Donating cash is a really good way to give because again, it's dignified. People can choose what they actually want as opposed to what the outside world thinks they want. And again, there's so many ways to do that. Talking about Cayman community, those who do want to help, maybe have a bake sale and again give the cash to a good charity, or maybe have if you own a spin studio or an exercise studio, maybe have a sponsored exercise class. And there's so many cool ways of finding ways to help Jamaica right now. But again, I would strongly suggest any local efforts should be focused on cash in a way that's coordinated by the government through our voluntary agency responders through the Red Cross.
Okay. And what do we say to, because we know, for instance, many religious organizations that have close ties and connections, with Jamaica as well, and they may choose to do that on an organization to organization basis. What do we say to
them? Again, that's, if they're communicating with their organizations, again, just think about ways, transport right now is going to cost a lot of money. So sending a load of stuff that's not been asked for, like clothes, one, as I say, blocks the supply chain up for priority life-saving equipment. But also, again, they can't. Those kind of items will not be on that relief flight. We're very, very strong about that point. We are only sending items on that's been requested by the government and through SEDEMA. Again, it's a very, very clear list. So, if churches are collecting, for example, right now, by all means do, but find a solution. Either sell the clothes and then send the funds on to your counterparts in Jamaica, or they'll have to wait, I guess, for commercial flights. But the relief flights are solely for items that have been requested by Jamaica. Okay. And as far as those items that have been requested, your organization, Red Cross and others, already have those in hand. So, yeah, that came out last night.
The reason I'm asking that is that if, for instance, some of those organizations here wanted to contribute those items as well, would you prefer the items or you prefer the funds?
So the Red Cross is going to launch a monetary appeal, and I'll just give you an example. So I'm looking at the list from Jamaica, and it says they need 100,000 mattresses.
Wow.
Now, there has to be a standard. There has to be some sort of quality control. What if I go into my house and I think, oh, yeah, I have an old mattress, and I give it. And then Danny goes to her house and says, oh, she has an old mattress. And all of a sudden, the stuff that's coming from Cayman is just all sorts of different types of mattresses. And whilst they're in need, we have to realize that they are humans just like us. Yes. And it's all about dignity. And so the reason why we do collect funds, not just the Cayman Islands Red Cross, but globally, is that we can buy in bulk. 100,000 times, say a mattress is $200 or $300. That's a lot of money. So you buy in bulk. We already have suppliers globally and all that. And it just makes more sense. than sending one mattress in this way and all that. We want to make sure it's standardized. We want to make sure there's quality control. So that's a very important thing. And that's why we're going to launch an appeal, because we recognize that money can go far. If we look at 2017, when there was Hurricane Irma, Danny and I responded to, or we supported the BVI Red Cross. And two things that came out of there. One of them was communication. If we don't communicate with each other and have a standard sort of organized communication, everybody will do what they want. And they realized that they wasted about 2 weeks after the storm because nobody was communicating.
Wow.
That's the first thing. And then the second thing that they realized was actually cash really worked out very well. And they had a cash program. They did assessments. They worked with their local social services. And rather than give all the supplies, they gave cash for a period of 6 months. And it also provided dignity to the people because they could go to the shops and buy things. So there's a reason why we do cash. Initially, people thought, oh, they're going to use it to buy alcohol and cigarettes. Well, maybe 2% will. But majority of the people actually want to get their lives back and use the cash wisely.
I think it's a really good point, Jondo. I mean, again, we talk about mattresses, and can you imagine how many plane loads it takes to take a load of old mattresses over?
Yes.
That space on the relief flights and even commercial flights in the next few months really should be used by stuff that's urgent to get there, but also, again, cash is such a great way to give because it is so dignified. And again, coordinating through reputable organisations. I mean, just a quick flag as well, though. I mean, obviously, times like this, there are some people out there that take advantage of the system, and you'll see these sort of pop-up donation charities. You see them all around the world. We saw it in Haiti. We've seen it time and time again. So if you are going to give cash, we strongly suggest that you give it to a reputable, well-organised charity. Do your research. Find out what the mandate of that charity suits you. Obviously, everyone's different. Obviously, Red Cross is a very well-respected organisation, as is Rotary, and we know they're both doing cash appeals. But make sure you're not just giving to a pop-up charity because, again, do your homework, make sure that the money isn't going into the wrong hands. The money needs to go to Jamaica right now. It needs to go to the right people to really help rebuild. A lot of these pop-up organisations are frauds anyway, so strongly suggest you do your homework first before giving. But again, cash is such a great way to give because it's so good for human dignity.
Okay, so we've reached the top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. We're going to continue this conversation after the 8 o'clock news, and we will also be joined by Dr. Marzuka as well. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you very much, Mr. Osi. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
The experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Jamaica reels from the strongest hurricane in its history as Cuba is being hit by life-threatening storm surges. Reports are coming into the BBC this morning with sunrise in Jamaica.
Many of your listeners will have seen by now, with all the images coming through, completely devastating in western parts of the country.
And what level of devastation, what can we say at this point?
It's very difficult to find the words. Catastrophic would be where I would start.
Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared a disaster area and warned of, quote, devastating impacts. Meanwhile, Hurricane Melissa is bearing down on Cuba with 115-mile-per-hour winds and heavy rain. At the latest check, Hurricane Melissa was located near latitude 20.6 degrees north, longitude 75.7 degrees west. Melissa is moving towards the north-northeast near 14 miles per hour. And if you'd like to help,
the Cayman Islands stands ready to support our neighbours in Jamaica in their time of need.
Hazard Management Director Danny Coleman says government is coordinating the national relief effort.
Under our National Hazard Management Framework, the Voluntary Agency Responders Emergency Support Team, led by the Cayman Islands Red Cross, alongside Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions Club, the Ministers Association, Thre, and a number of other NGOs, are working to ensure our community has every opportunity to make a difference. We know many of you want to help, and that speaks to the heart of who we are as a Cayman community. But here's what's absolutely critical. We must act based on what Jamaica actually needs.
Ms. Coleman says uncoordinated efforts, no matter how well intended, can add extra burden to those already suffering and can delay life-saving aid.
The government will continue to monitor the situation very closely, collaborating with Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SEDEMA, the Consulate of Jamaica, and the Government of Jamaica to coordinate relief based on real-time needs with a structured, coordinated process.
For more information, visit caymanprepare.ky/Melissa Relief. In other news, there were more than 1,600 jobs advertised in September, with the vast majority of those coming from the private sector. Workforce Opportunities and Residency Cayman's September jobs posting report says that's down from about 1,780 logged in August. The top 5 industries accounted for over 70% of all job postings. These were construction, administrative and support services, accommodation and food services, retail, trade, and professional, scientific, and technical services. 96% of those jobs were full-time, about 45 were part-time. 78% of the jobs required a high school education or equivalent with a certificate or some college or university experience, but 56% of those jobs required between 3 and 6 years of previous experience. Work says the report is a key indicator in predicting labor demand and can help shape training and development needs of the current and future workforce. Team members with the Economics and Statistics Office are knocking on doors across the island, collecting some much-needed data on employment, as well as quality of life.
So doing the survey and having this information provides pivotal or a key part of the puzzle in terms of being able to develop a holistic strategy based on information that is coming from you, the respondents. So the survey is a key part of the policy. It's a big part of business decisions and just policy on a whole.
ESO senior economist Rolston Henry tells CIGTV his office needs your help to collect high-quality data that is, quote, essential, timely, and relevant.
Labor force and quality of life survey is a treasure trove of information in terms of what it collects. Data on unemployment levels, data on workforce, data on income levels and spending levels, as well as housing, to identify where the housing gaps are, where developments can occur, and what is actually happening.
Trained interviewers with the Economics and Statistics Office, armed with ID cards, started the survey in September with the goal of hitting up over 2,000 randomly selected homes. For more information, head to eso.ky. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. Israel says the Gaza ceasefire is back in force after carrying out deadly strikes on Tuesday. The territory's Hamas-run health ministry says more than 100 people were killed. Israel launched the attacks after accusing Hamas of killing a soldier. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio. For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Brought to you by UHealth International, University of Miami Health System. International patients go to UHealth International for consultations with renowned physicians, advanced treatment technologies, leading-edge medical therapies, and state-of-the-art surgical procedures. Whatever your particular reason for going to UHealth International, you will receive customized medical care delivered within a compassionate, multicultural setting. The care you need when you need it.
Get ready for a taste of the world right here in our community. Join us for the St. Ignatius Catholic Church International Food and Art Festival on Saturday, November 1st from 4 to 9 p.m. at the St. Ignatius Catholic School Playfield. Savor live cooking demos, enjoy entertainment and performances, games and raffle prizes, and explore flavors from around the world. Tickets give you entry to the event and access to delicious food samples from all 7 food stations: African, Caribbean, European, Indian and Sri Lankan, Filipino and other Asian, Latin American, North American. Admission is $25 for adults and $10 for children. Tickets are available at St. Ignatius Church office and online at EventPro. So come hungry, bring your friends, and get ready to taste, dance, and celebrate. Don't miss this amazing celebration of food, art, and community. St. Ignatius International Food and Art Festival.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
El Paso, good morning. Let's take a look at the very latest weather report. Synopsis indicate isolated showers are expected for the next 24 hours as Hurricane Melissa continues to move northeast away from the Cayman Islands. A cold front currently over the Gulf of Mexico is expected to move into the Cayman area by Thursday evening, leading to possible swells along the northern and western coast. Radar imagery show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area, moving towards the south-southeast. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida continues to issue advisories on Hurricane Melissa, which at last check was located at 20.6 north, 75.7 west. It's about 350 miles northeast of Grand Cayman, or 243 miles northeast of Cayman Brac. Melissa is currently moving at 14 miles per hour, with maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour. Forecast for today calling for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 30% chance of isolated showers, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s today. Your winds will be north to northwest at 15 to 20 knots, and seas will be very rough with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet, 8 to 10 feet over Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Long action swells are likely along the northern and western coast and possibly along the eastern coast. Marine watch is in effect for today and tonight. Tonight, partly cloudy and cloudy skies with a 30% chance of isolated showers, and temperatures falling near the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be north to northwest at 15 to 20 knots, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet, especially for the sister islands of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Long action swells are likely along the southern and eastern coast and possibly along the northern and western coast for tonight. Low tide will be this morning at 9:33, high tide this afternoon at 4:47, and a low tide again tonight at 9 minutes past 11. Sunset 5:52, sunrise 6:26, and the outlook is calling for the cold front to become stationary just east of the Cayman area on Friday, which will bring a slight chance for some scattered showers. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Wait, why is she going into that spooky house? Who's that creepy old guy? And where are her friends? Why is she going in the basement? Nothing good is down there, sis. I bet you the creepy caretaker did it. Did you see his fake eye? Okay, maybe not the caretaker.
Hush.
You hush. I'm solving a mystery.
We're like the person who doesn't ruin the movie. CG Britcade. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Reading is a match that lights the flame of imagination, innovation, curiosity, ambition. Register today for the inaugural Free to the Public Literacy Conference, the Life Conference 2025, Saturday, November 1st, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., the Kimpton Seafire Resort, 7 Mile Beach. The theme, Early Childhood, Strong Start, Strong Future. Keynote speaker, Dr. Dan Worry, founder of the Early Childhood Policy Solutions. Register now. Go to lifeconference.ky. Life, literacy is for everyone. Supported by Rotary Central, Cayman Islands.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Interact with our talk shows on YouTube.
Download
our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise. Further up on Shamrock Road, moderate pace of traffic. Further down, a little different story, as traffic is steady as you approach the Linford-Pearson Highway, steady but flowing. And on Cool Road, a little slow-moving traffic heading to Georgetown area. Coming off of the Linford-Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, moderate flow of traffic, as well as Bobby Thompson Way. As we look to Owen Roberts Drive, traffic is moving at a light pace, and on the Westway Road in front of the Ritz, moderate flow of traffic in both directions, as well as on Godfrey Nixon Way and Easton Avenue. Steady but flowing traffic on North Sound Road. Heading towards the Industrial Park area, traffic is moving at a moderate pace. If you've seen accidents or incidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. Owen Roberts Drive, flowing at a moderate pace, and that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
We are in the hurricane season, and knowing what to do after a hurricane can be as important as preparing for the storm. After the passage of a hurricane, seek medical attention if it is needed at hospitals and clinics for those persons who are injured. Do not touch power lines and cables that are down. They may be active. Report them to 911 or the utility emergency hotlines. Broken tree limbs should be removed from around homes and buildings if possible. This hurricane information was brought to you by Breeze FM and Radio Cayman.
The following is a brief, detailed word picture of the Cayman Islands Home Guard operations during World War II, as told by former Home Guard member Bob Soto. Presented by the Cayman Islands Veterans Association, Breeze Radio, and Radio Cayman.
Now, Bob, you were on home soil during World War II, that is, in the Home Guard. Tell us a little bit about your sacrifices and what you went through.
I remember the war breaking out, and I was 13 years old, I think it was. It was only one radio in my neighborhood, and that was Uncle Sade, we called him, Truman Bodden's grandfather. And all the old people would gather on the porch to hear the news from the BBC, what was happening in the war. And I used to go out and hang out with these old men to hear what was going on. I was very interested in what was going on. And then we started a campaign here to collect scrap to ship to England to help the war effort. We collected an old aluminum pots, and let's ship some cannons from the old fort back to England to use in the war effort. All the older boys, my friends who was older, became of age, and they started going off to the war, to America and the Merchant Marine, or joining the armed forces. Trinidad people went off to join the Royal Naval Reserve, and then they started recruiting for the Home Guard. I was 16 years old, and you had to be 18, but I was 6'1", so I went up there and volunteered. I told them I was 18, because I never had a birth certificate, and they couldn't prove any difference. I was born in Cuba and came here when I was 2 years old, and I never got a birth certificate until 1947, so they couldn't dispute how old I was, and I got my mother to sign that I was 18. So I got in there, and they wanted 70 men, and they could have tripled it. So I was lucky to get in there, I thought. And they recruited 70 of us, and we had a Canadian sergeant instructor, and by that time we had a U.S. Navy base here with 50 sailors and 2 bombers stationed here doing patrol for submarines, because I'd seen ships get blown up right in front of Georgetown Harbor going by the submarine, and the submarine come on the surface and talk to the crew. And we never had a gun here to do anything. Some of our men went out on the Simboka to pick up the men, bring them in. We went in basic training for 3 months. We had rifles and Sten guns, call them Tommy guns or Sten gun, 30-round magazine. You could cut a coconut tree in 2 with it. We got 2 field artillery pieces, 3-inch guns, and we had a lorry truck that could move them around the island wherever we needed them if it was needed. And we had some gun emplacements in Georgetown where we kept one in the gun emplacement right next to the public school. And across the street we had ammunition dump, or rifle ammunition. I did training in Jamaica with the British Army. I had 2 tours of duty over there over the years, and I took a course in artillery over there. I'd like to have been on the active army or the Air Force to do something more for the country, because Caymanians are patriotic and to the mother country, and I am still that way, even though our culture has changed over the recent years, but it hasn't changed me. I would like to see some of our younger people today step up to the plate. It's a very good thing to do, serve in the military. It taught me a lot, and I had those things that I have been a guide for my life ever since I served. We had stations, Northwest Point, Barclays, Northside, East End, Pedro Bluff, and 2 stations in Georgetown, plus the headquarters, and a central where we called in all the reports from the outer stations, and we would relay everything to the U.S. Navy. All the reports had to go to the U.S. Navy base all hours of the night. I remember one night I was working with Arthur E. Banks. He was in charge of the headquarters for central control, and I was working with him, and we had a report came in 2 o'clock in the morning that the station in Northwest Point called in. They had seen a rubber boat come in and put 2 people ashore, Northwest Point. So I went up there, and they had a little building at the gate. Man is always there 24 hours a day. And when I went there, he had a 45 out laying on the shelf with a little window like this, and he was sleeping. So I took the gun, pulled it off, and grabbed him and shook him. He jumped for the gun. I said, I got it here. I was scared if I woke him up, he would shoot me. So I said, I'm not going to tell anybody anything. So I had to go directly to the commanding officer, barracks, and wake him and give him the report, And then we all saddled up, went to West Bay all night in the mosquitoes, searching West Bay for these 2 men. Never found a thing.
The preceding was presented by the Cayman Islands Veterans Association, Breeze Radio, and Radio Cayman.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, we're going to do a few birthday shout-outs very quickly. We see that Miss Catherine Murrah, she is celebrating her 100th birthday today. So we want to wish her a happy birthday, Miss Catherine Murrah, celebrating her birthday today. We also see that Yvonne Olivia Jackson celebrating a birthday today. Mark Tony Anthony Bennett also celebrating a birthday today. And of course, those birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Folks, in the studio, we have the Director of Hazard Management, Cayman Islands, Ms. Dani Coleman. Also in the studio with us, the Director of the Cayman Islands Red Cross, Ms. Jondo Obi, and we have been joined on the telephone by Dr. Joseph Marzuka. Dr. Marzuka, good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and thanks for having us today.
Thanks. It is, I would say, a pleasure because, certainly we would want to have you under better circumstances, but at the same time, we do get an opportunity, to show the humane side of us, and we are, of course, our brothers and our sisters keepers, and we want to do whatever we can to assist as well. And first of all, our thoughts and our prayers go out to the people of Jamaica as well, Dr. Marzuka.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I must say it's been very good to see the response that started actually well before the hurricane hit. And I have to say the government has certainly stepped up. The premier and his ministers stepped up. I've received calls from the opposition MPs, and everybody is trying to pull together different groups as to getting assistance to Jamaica, as you know. But the two biggest problems now for us is communication and taking care of those who are in need of dire help.
Mm-hmm.
And that, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do from this side. So we are more looking towards the disaster management people in Jamaica to coordinate efforts. And I can explain a bit more as we go along. But for now, I think if there is, possibility to get stuff online, it will be posted by the government as to what is happening in various areas. And unfortunately, there will be a few people who did not survive the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping it's minimal. But the damage to certain hospitals in the countryside, certainly in my hometowns of Almar, I know the hospitals suffered severe damage, and Black River basically got wiped out in terms of their hospital. So we're looking for help for that, but that will have to be coordinated at a different level, not just people providing stuff. It will have to be a large medical institution that will have to assist us with that kind of program.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's it from that side. I'm not sure what else you're looking for this morning, but we have a lot of people on board. People are going to use probably Cayman as a stepping stone into Jamaica. We have the folks from the World Central Kitchen here who have already sent people to Jamaica, and we have a group here now trying to get to Jamaica. We're coordinating efforts worldwide, and now they've decided to help in Jamaica. As you know, they're also in Gaza and places like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we're very fortunate to have that kind of personnel coming on board, and we're fortunate that Cayman has allowed people to come in and go forward from here with assistance. And we're going to utilize some local services here to provide food directly, hopefully starting tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm. Have you received any information in relation to the status of the airports in Jamaica and when they would be open to this type of movement that you're talking about?
Okay, well, what has happened in Montego Bay is that there's been damage to the building itself, particularly the roof. So that airport is going to take quite a bit of work. What happens during a hurricane is that the radio equipment and the satellite equipment is moved to a secure location. Then it has to be set back up. So currently right now what's happening in Kingston, they're trying to set back up that equipment at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Once that equipment is set up, they'll do some testing on it, and then they will inform the different airlines that they can come in, and the emergency cargo planes and so on and so forth will get priority. So I know Cayman Airways will certainly be a priority for them because of the direct connection. And I think I spoke to Mr. Worms last night, and he is in communication with them. And once they're up and running, he anticipates to really follow it with the plane service in probably within hours or the following morning, depending on the time of day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we have to look forward to, and I will speak back with the transport minister again later on today and find out what's happening with Montego Bay. But it looks like a much bigger task for Montego Bay.
Okay. So, Dr. Marzouk, as you know, we have Ms. Dinah Coleman and Ms. Jondo Obe in the studio with us. So we're going to throw the mic over to them. Start with you, Danny, or...
Hey, Dr. Joe. Again, I should mention that Dr. Joe Marzouk is in his capacity as Honorary Consul of Jamaica.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And we've been working very closely, as he says, the Cayman Islands government. Obviously, that relationship is very, very important to us. And again, as Dr. Marzouk mentioned, that coordination with ODPEM in Jamaica is incredibly important. We're working very closely with our partners in SEDEMA, Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency as well, to really understand what the needs are. Again, it might be medical, given what we've seen from the hospitals around Jamaica and obviously impact on a number of those hospitals. It might be that they need medical assistance. Now, we have had our medical teams. We have under our National Emergency Operations Centre, we have what we call the Medical Relief Services Emergency Support Team, and we've been liaising with them for the last good few days now, and that's again all hospitals in medical capacity in Cayman. And again, seeing what surge capacity we have in the form of personnel that might be able to be deployed. And again, if requested by ODPEM and or SEDEMA through SEDEMA, we can send those teams as well as part of the surge capacity. It might be that they're asking for utilities assistance, and again, CEC have been on standby this week as well.
And cardiac.
So, yeah, and a lot of these. A lot of personnel from Cayman could potentially assist if requested in the different forms, different capacities, be it anything from utilities to medical to communications to whatever they need right now, we can assist with as part of the sort of regional response. But again, working with Dr. Joe and others is just very important. And as we've all mentioned throughout, that communication, ongoing communication, is just so critical, so everyone knows what's happening and who's doing what, and to avoid any duplication.
Okay, Mr. Jondo?
Yeah, the Jamaican consulate is actually a member of our VARS team, so they're quite supportive over the years. Miss Elaine Harris actually sits, and she represents the consulate, and she will be attending the meeting this afternoon, so there is that collaboration. And just a reminder to people that this is a long game. It's a long game. We really need to work effectively. We need to work together. And if we do that, we can give better support to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica. So there's no rush per se, because it's going to take a while. They're going to have to rebuild, and they're going to need a lot of support. And that's why we're here.
And I think that's a really good point, Jondo, because, what happens, obviously immediate life-saving support is required as a priority now. But it's also, as soon as Jamaica comes out of the press, obviously it's very live right now in the press, seeing it all over the world. But unfortunately, it's the aftermath. After that, in a month's time or a couple of weeks' time, actually, it'll no longer be on everyone's mind as a highlight, and then that's when the struggles really begin, because the donations start coming in now, but when it's no longer in the spotlight, it becomes really hard to raise money for. And obviously, the world's eyes have moved on somewhere else. So it's just really important that sustainability of ongoing giving and support for Jamaica is going to be really important over the next couple of days and years, and whatever that looks like. But also, we've seen the path, and we know Cuba's obviously being impacted, TCI may be impacted, Bermuda might be impacted. So there's going to be other neighbouring countries that we're going to need to support in the next few weeks, and again, time to come.
So, Dr. Marzuka, when we look at the decision to establish an honorary consulate here in the Cayman Islands, that certainly was very prophetic, simply because of the number of Jamaican nationals that we have here in the Cayman Islands, but also our historical connection with Jamaica as well. We have seen recently where the Customs and Border Control put out a notice for those persons who were unable to travel back to Jamaica, who had plans to travel back but were unable to, giving them I think up until Thursday for them to be able to come in and have their stay extended. And in most instances, I believe it is at no charge whatsoever. What we're going to do, Doc, is we're going to go to a commercial break. And when we return, I want to give you an opportunity to speak to the Jamaican nationals who are living here in the Cayman Islands or elsewhere, who may be within earshot of your voice, to talk to them, to tell them, what is happening and what they can do, what they can expect as well. So we're going to go to a commercial break, Doc, and we're going to come right back to you. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
When you choose Cineco Motor Insurance, you're not just getting coverage. You're joining a community that cares about protecting you and your loved ones. Why Cineco? Personalized coverage tailored to your needs. 24/7 claim service, always just a call away. And peace of mind with CARE roadside assistance for flat tires to towing, anytime, anywhere in Cayman. Ready for a quote? Visit Cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about Hurricane Melissa relief efforts to Jamaica. That conversation has taken place in the studio with Miss Danielle Coleman from Hazard Management Cayman, and also Miss Jondo from the Cayman Islands Red Cross. On the phone lines, we have Dr. Joseph Marzuka, who's the Honorary Consul for Jamaica in the Cayman Islands. So, Dr. Marzuka, back over to you, sir.
All right. Well, thanks, OC. And also just to mention what you did say about the setting up of the consulate in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Had Captain Robbie Hamati was the driving force in the early days. And also from the great parish of Westmoreland. And he set it up with many volunteers,
Mm-hmm.
who many of them are still around, like Mr. Harvey Stevenson and so on. So there are many people who put forward that idea, and it has been carried out. And certainly in COVID, it was very, very helpful for us to be here on the ground. And, of course, now with the latest hurricane, it's been very helpful. We do have a website which we have put all the information on. I just spoke with Elaine earlier this morning. All the information as to what can be done in terms of monetary contributions, either directly to the government in Jamaica through the internet portal, or we're going to have a local account here for the government at CNB, and that account number will be advertised as well on our website. And the important thing, I think Danny is aware of it, is that when things are being sent to Jamaica in the first instance, it all has to go to the ODPEM people who are doing disaster management. So when you send items, you can't just send boxes of anything that you think is necessary. It has to be specific from the list, which is also going to be published on our website. And I think I think, Danny, you have it on your website as well. And all those items are then put on a manifest along with the boxes and the containers, so that when it reaches Jamaica, they know what's in the container so they can put it to the most needed areas. So you may be from Trelawney, you may be from Westmoreland, and the stuff ends up going to St. Elizabeth. So you shouldn't feel any concern over that. Disaster management will be fielding the various resources to the needed points and where they can actually get to by road. So that's important, that you might not think you're hitting the area that you're from, but it doesn't make any difference. Those people will be manning it and making sure that the necessary, I guess, food items, clothes items, whatever items get to the necessary people. So that's the important thing. So it's not just to send containers down to Jamaica and just get as many things stored up on the port as possible, because that doesn't assist at all. We have to have a manifest. It has to be sent beforehand so that they know what's coming in, so they can better able to resource the stuff when it arrives. So even before it leaves, we have to be able to communicate to them what's in the supply boxes, and so they can then better say, well, they need it. Maybe, for example, they had, 400 tents being sent down and they already have 2,000. They might say, well, we don't need any tents this week, but we do need some other items. So that's the sort of dynamic that's going to take place. So I guess our disaster management team here will probably best assist with that sort of item, I think, from the local standpoint, because they'll be in contact with the disaster management people in Jamaica, and they've been through it already. I think last time with Beryl, I think our local group here did quite a good job. So I think they're very capable of taking care of that. And if you just want to send money, you can send it directly to the government. Jamaica National also has an account, and certainly we locally here from the consulate will have an account as well at CNB. So there's many options. And if you want to send to the World Central Kitchen, you can also send to their general account and specify for Jamaica, so that the food products that they're doing is directly contributing from your financial resources. So those are the main options at this point in time. And as communication improves and as the opening of the airports continue, we will advise and we'll try to update the website. I'll be talking back to Elaine later on this evening, and we'll try and update that as much as possible. So if you're not aware, just check the website for the Jamaica Consulate in Cayman, and we'll have updates as quickly as we can do them.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. And again, as Dr. Joe mentioned, supportjamaica.gov.jm is also up and well, it's off and on a bit because, of course, of the technical communication difficulties over there at times, but there are like the national needs list on that. There's also how to report missing persons, how to donate, and what shelters are open. And of course, we also have a page on caymanprepared.ky /Melissa Relief that we're sharing all that information as well. So there's lots of opportunities to give. I just, as Dr. Joe said, I mean, just to sort of regurgitate a bit with the unsolicited donations. I think we have to really picture about what ODPEM right now in Jamaica are going through, the whole country are going through. But just when you're bringing relief items in, I mean, Jondo and I experienced this both in BVI, but also years back in the tsunami in Thailand. When items come in, they tend to they have to be well documented. They have to be asked for. But the ODPEM office were very tired. It's been a very anxious week. And then when these items come in that haven't been requested, they have to find warehouse accommodation for it. They have to find, oftentimes, I know in Thailand we had a massive issue with vector destroy. The clothes were all there in big piles, and of course the rain started. There was no cover for them. We didn't have any warehouse space for them, and of course then it became a real sanitation issue, and we often call it the second disaster. So we're really, again, strongly encouraging people to give wisely and to give what's being asked for, not just anything from the house. I think that's just so incredibly important to emphasize.
No, absolutely, Danny. It is very important because if we think about Puerto Rico, when they had Hurricane Irma and Maria, it was 6 months later, and there was like over 10 truckloads of water. They were just sitting there because they couldn't get it to the location. So it's very important for people to understand that you've got goodwill, but let's really work together with the local authorities on ground to make sure that there's the space, there's the manpower, and they're the machinery, because you might send a container, but it needs a crane. And if the crane is not available because it's been destroyed, then it will just sit at the ports. And so while people are really are in a bit of a haste to sort of act quickly in Cayman, again, we want to make sure that we're working together to make sure we have a better and not create a second disaster, as it were.
I think it's going back to BVI. I remember after Irma, we had a load of containers down at the relief distribution site. And again, trying to bring more items in that had been requested, were getting blocked. But I remember we had 2 big 40-foot containers full of broken doors. And again, there's nothing we can do with broken doors. It was sent by a country, and also a load of left shoes. We often see medication that's been past the sell-by date. We see a lot of clothes. We see a lot of just random stuff that's been donated. And again, it really does create a serious issue for people in the country trying to get the life-saving equipment through and to make sure that supply chain really does stay open for the right needs.
Dr. Marzuka, anything you want to add to what the ladies have said, and want to also any messages that you want to get out to Jamaicans who are resident here in the Cayman Islands, or even those who are visiting, in terms of how they will be updated? I know you mentioned your website and everything, but and I also want to extend to you that certainly here at Radio Cayman, and I can speak about for the record, that whenever there is a need for you to get information, that we will be more than happy to have you on to convey those messages as well.
Okay, and that's appreciated. I think for now, if there are local personnel who want to volunteer, certainly from the medical standpoint, and people who are very adept at communications, if you care to volunteer and you'd like to volunteer, as soon as we can get that coordinated, we can contact you again. So perhaps if you leave your information at the consulate, it would be probably a useful thing to at least have your name on call if you are interested in volunteering, because we'll certainly need medical personnel, but and have tents set up and so forth. So it's very important to get that done.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Dr. Marzuka, we're going to ask you to stay on the line. We will be closing off at around about 9 o'clock. And we will be joined after our guests here in the studio and Dr. Marzuka. We will be joined by the opposition, and want to also extend our gratitude for them for abbreviating their presence here on For the Record to allow these conversations and these messages to go out as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay Mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
As a parent, I know I would do anything to protect my child against cancer. As a Minister of Health, I know that the HPV vaccine is the best protection available against HPV-related cancers. The vaccine is safe and is being offered free of cost for 9 to 25-year-olds across all 3 of our islands. For more information, contact the Public Health Department on 244-2648 or 244-2889.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts.
At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
The 615 Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britcay. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about Hurricane Melissa relief efforts that are directed towards Jamaica, the people of Jamaica as well. That conversation has taken place with Dr. Joseph Marzuka, who's the honorary consul to Jamaica here in the Cayman Islands. Also, Ms. Jondo Obi, who is the director of the Cayman Islands Red Cross here in the Cayman Islands, of course. And we have Hazard Management Director, Ms. Danny Coleman as well. Dr. Marzuka, we're going to come back to you. The overview that you gave us earlier when we started, I want to give you an opportunity to repeat some of those things to our listening and our viewing audience as well, and anything else that you may wish to add. So is Dr. Marzuka still with us?
Yes, still
okay.
here.
Yeah, there you go.
Just wanted to mention for sure that I also spoke with Mr. Richard Hugh from CUC. They also have a group of people on standby ready to go as well. So we have not just medical, but we're going to need utility support and so on. So we do have that available to us, and that's very good. We understand that HSA and Health City are also going to be on standby to provide personnel, I guess, to go to Jamaica as well, but depending on how many structures are still available, because I had mentioned earlier, Black River Hospital has been pretty much disseminated. Severe destruction to Sablomar Hospital. Mandeville Hospital has suffered a lot as well. So many of those hospitals are not functional, and that's going to be some of the problems. There may be a suggestion that we may have to move some people off-site, dialysis and so on, to other locations, perhaps even Cayman for the immediate task. But getting people down in temporary medical tents would be an option, I suppose, once the ground clears and the water swell dies down. Mm-hmm. So Jamaica has many rivers, as you know, and because of that, the swell in the rivers will continue for several days and perhaps even a couple of weeks. So you will have continued mudslides once the rain continues. You will have different areas being affected by lack of communication. So it's going to take the kind of personnel that's perhaps more military or people who have, more professional volunteers, so to speak. Not like ourselves who may just be doing a one or two off helping situation. These are professional people who have been in certain instances before other areas. And I know one of the ministers contacted me. There's a search and rescue team here on standby to go into Jamaica and help as well. So we are also trying to get those kind of people who are more professionals to get stuff done. And as I mentioned, World Central Kitchen is here. They have people on the ground in Jamaica already. They're trying to go in and get that started. Those are essential things. People don't have meals. They've lost their houses. The local restaurants are all gone. So there are many things that can be done immediately. But from a standpoint here, it feels very frustrating because we can't directly reach out to those members that we are family or friends of. And I know it's frustrating, but you have to trust in the system. So when you have disaster management groups, it seems like you're not actually touching the people you want to touch, but you have to just have the faith that they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're able to get into those places. We're not able to just go down there and get into those areas. So we have to trust in them, and when you give the support to them, I think you're doing the best thing, giving to these central agencies. And after a while, when the flights ease up and we can all go back down on a regular interim, then we can take what we need to take for the specific
personally, yes. Mm-hmm.
So, but for now, we don't need to send any TVs. We don't need to send any, personal clothing items per se, but it has to be for the general population, and that's what we have to be focused on now. Let's get communication back up. Let's get the airports working properly, the cell phone towers, everything back up, because those things are all damaged. So when you go through the mountains in St. James and those places like Catadupa and those areas, those are all been damaged. And those mountains are what hit the storm and really slowed it down. So in effect, it has spared the tragedy that could have perhaps gone on to Cuba as well, because I think it hit Jamaica at 185 miles an hour with gusts on the wind, which will probably add another, 40, 50 miles to that. So you'd be somewhere in the mid-range of 250 miles. So you know that many roofs would have left the structure of the house. So that is what we're dealing with. So don't panic. Try and reach out as best you can, but the phone lines are going to be all busy, and we will try to get the information locally. I will see what we can do from the consulate, from disaster management, any other groups that will assist us with communication. We will do as best we can, but do not be frustrated by not getting information on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. And again, those persons here who may wish to volunteer, you will be setting up, they can present their names to the consulate
Yes.
in the event that they're needed.
Yes, they can call the general number, which is 949-9526.
Mm-hmm.
And, any professional, if you have a particular profession in communications, medical, anything at all that would assist us with getting things done, we'd certainly be more than happy to have your name. And as needed, we'd certainly be able to call you. And then we can see how that works from there. But in the interim, as we have mentioned before, any items that are going to be sent, it's preferable to stick to the main list that's been sent out by our disaster management team in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
and sent to the general funding accounts, which would be with us, CNB, Jamaica National, and directly to the government and their website that they've created, particularly for Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's it in a nutshell, and we will try to provide information as to when the airports are fully functional going forward.
Right. Okay. So, Dr. Marzuka, again, you have my contact details. Any assistance that we can give here on For the Record in terms of getting information out, more than happy to do so as well. And I want to wish you and the people of Jamaica all the best, and we will do our part here, as well.
All right, and thanks very much. And just one more time, thanks to the government, the governor, in fact, as well, the opposition members that have reached out, and just the general membership of everybody, disaster management, the whole group that have reached out to us in the interim prior to actually landfall. And so I think we've been very organized this time, and I hope that we'll do a better job than we probably did in burial or previous occasions.
Yeah, and each incident we learn more and more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much too, Doc. Thank you. All the best. All the best. Ladies, want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments. We know that you have to leave us as well.
Thank you. Again, I will continue to coordinate very closely with Dr. Joe on volunteers and so forth through the voluntary agency responders. I guess just a quick flag of we are seeing some videos coming out that's unofficial, and we know they've been recorded way before yesterday and the day before. So just be very careful what you're sharing. They really should be as official as possible.
Yes.
Some of this is fake news, unfortunately, and a lot of people some people take advantage of times like this. So please make sure what you're sharing again is legit, as opposed to something that might have been AI'd or produced from a different storm. And again, I think from behalf of all the government, our heart really does go out for everyone who's experiencing this right now, who's gone through what Jamaica has gone through, who's going through in Cuba right now, and again, our neighbours to come in the next few days. I think anxiety levels have been very high over the last week, and we are strongly encouraging people to really find ways to, get that wellness, trying to find ways to, if you need to call the mental health helpline, we have a great mental health helpline and support network in place through Cayman and others. Again, there's Alex Panton Foundation. There's a lot of really good assistance out there for that. But supporting each other, supporting our community, and again, supporting our neighbours in time of need is so important. But please do it through the right dignified way of, making sure you're coordinating it with us.
Mm-hmm.
And again, everyone can help, be it a bake sale, having a sponsored yoga class, whatever it looks like, please, Cayman, let's all pull together and really help our neighbours in time of need. Thank you.
Ms. Jondo?
Yes, just to remind the public that the Red Cross will be launching a monetary appeal.
Okay.
And we will publicize the Butterfield account shortly. And, we talk about professional volunteers, but we want to make sure that if there are any other volunteers who feel, I can do something, they can contact the Red Cross, because I suspect that over the next coming days, we might need people to help out with,
admin,
with relief, putting stuff together. So if you're interested in just helping out, contact the Red Cross. We'll put you on the list. And once we have a task, we're going to coordinate it. So it goes back to coordinating efforts.
Yes.
Because if everybody's just doing things, it doesn't make sense. We want to coordinate the efforts of the work we're trying to do.
Okay, and why don't we give out those details in terms of contact details for the Red Cross?
Contact details for the Red Cross, our number is 949-6785. And all you have to let them know is that you'd like to volunteer for the Melissa response. The number again is 949-6785. That's our main line. If you want to come into the Red Cross, our admin office is at the Cayman Corporate Center. So not across from Parma's Market, but rather at the Cayman Corporate Center, which is behind the Immigration Department. It's on Hospital Road. If you come in there, we'll put your name down, we'll get your details, and whatever task we have as a nation, we'll make sure we can deploy you to be able to support.
And for those persons who would want to make financial contributions as well, we can't overstress the importance of doing it through reputable organizations, because you know where the funds are going to go as opposed to any pop-ups.
Exactly. So we will publicize that so that members of the public will know that they can actually do it online, or they can, if they're at the bank already, they can make their deposit.
Okay. Anything else before you leave us, Danny? That's it?
No, I just, again, please, let's all look after each other and get through this together. It's very much a team, a community, and a region. We really have to work together and look out for each other. The anxiety has been very, very high for everyone. And we have a lot of people in Cayman who have family in Jamaica and friends in Jamaica. We all do actually have friends in Jamaica. And again, big sending a lot of positive love to them all, because they're obviously going through a heck of a lot right now.
Certainly. And again, we want to thank you at Hazard Management Cayman Islands for all that you do, Cayman Islands Red Cross as well, and all of those big-hearted persons out there who want to contribute. There's a way of doing it, and there's a way of not doing it as well. And you want to ensure that whatever you do, that you do it through official channels. You heard the word that was used here, coordination. That is extremely important. And there are those who know about coordination, who do it for a living. Leave it up to them. You just do your part in terms of, contributing financially or otherwise, and then hand it over to the experts. Folks, we've reached that time, top of the hour. We're going to go to our 9 o'clock news. When we return, we will have members of the official opposition here in the studio with us. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after our headline news.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Drivers plan for road work today. The National Roads Authority says crews will be on the westbound lane of the Linford-Pearson Highway from Halifax Road to Rankin Road between 9:30 and 4:30 today. Motorists are advised to exercise caution as this area will be an active work zone. In the latest storm advisory from the U.S. National Hurricane Center, Hurricane Melissa is continuing to move over eastern Cuba and will, quote, soon emerge into the southwestern Atlantic. The government of Jamaica has discontinued its tropical storm warning, but the island is expected to face ongoing catastrophic flooding and numerous landslides. Hurricane conditions are expected in southeastern and central parts of the Bahamas today. Flash flooding is expected from high rainfall in the southeast, and a dangerous storm surge of 5 to 8 feet above normally dry ground is possible today. And at least 104 Palestinians were killed in a wave of Israeli strikes in Gaza Tuesday night. The Israeli military said it struck, quote, dozens of terror targets and terrorists in response to violations by Hamas of the U.S.-brokered ceasefire deal. Israel's defense minister accused Hamas of an attack in Gaza that killed an Israeli soldier and of breaching the terms on returning deceased hostages' bodies. Hamas said it had, quote, no connection to the attack and was committed to the deal. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
HSA's Orthopedic Clinic has relocated to the second floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's Orthopedic Clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I introduce our guests, I've been asked to disseminate this information to our listeners and our viewers. There will be a public community meeting taking place on Thursday, the 30th of October, starting at 7 p.m. The location is at Tortuga parking lot in the North Sound, uniting Cayman to support Jamaica hurricane relief effort. Jamaica is our family, and I believe I have some additional information in relation, to it as well. So it is a committee that has been established. The executive of the committee is as follows. The chair is Mr. Honorable McKeeva Bush. The deputy chair, Ms. Sherry Ann Smith. Ms. Sophia Dixon, secretary. Ms. Vicky Frederick is the treasurer as well. So they will be having a public meeting Thursday evening. That is tomorrow evening at the Tortuga parking lot on North Sound Road. With that, it is my pleasure to have in the studio with us now the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Joey Hugh, Deputy Leader, the Honorable Kenneth Bryan, and I believe that we're going to be joined by Mr. Roy Tatum, as well. I just saw a WhatsApp message for him that he's on his way in, stepping right in now as well. And again, I want to say thank you very much for ceding some of your time this morning on the show. I know yesterday I was in communications with Mr. Tatum, Mr. Roy Tatum, about the fact that we needed to have discussions about the relief effort and have hazard management, Cayman Islands, and others on the show as well. And again, as you have done in the past, when there are pressing issues, when there's something of national importance, that you have always ceded whatever time that you have, sometimes the entire show, to accommodate us as well. And I want to thank you again, for that. With that, I will say good morning and welcome to For the Record.
Thank you, OC, and good morning to you, and good to be here, and certainly good to be here this morning, considering how close we came to facing the terrible storm, Melissa, that had just passed through Jamaica, and I think is currently over Cuba. But yes, appreciate the opportunity to come on this morning.
Mr. Connor, thank you for having us. Unfortunately, having to speak about something severe happening to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica, and on behalf of myself, my family, Georgetown Central, and all of the official opposition, we want to send our hearts and sympathies out to our local community, brothers and sisters and family members from Jamaica as they think about their loved ones in Jamaica. Happy to see that the official government has taken on our heeded advice to start prep work from early. Had a conversation, and the leader had a conversation with the governor and the premier from early last week, and they accepted, yes, that's a good idea, and saw that they actioned much of the relief preparations and made announcements in the early stages, because, yes, our relationship with the Jamaica community has been historical. So sadly, we're here probably going to talk a little bit about that, but there's other matters afoot for our own governance that we do also want to talk about, but again, our sympathies go out to them before we get started.
Okay, Mr. Tatum.
Morning, OC. Good morning to the wider public, my constituents in Red Bay. I always include my friends and family in Cayman Brack. Yeah, extremely horrific event. As someone said to me, we dodged a bullet, but extremely horrific event in Jamaica, and I'm sure also in Cuba. We have familial and historic ties with both those countries. Yeah. And I know that we still have families, Cuban families, but families through blood who are still in Cuba, and our hearts and prayers and thoughts go to them as well. And as the storm moves forward, I don't know if it started impacting the Bahamas yet, but I heard the Bahamas might be impacted. And then at one point, the cone had it going on to Bermuda. So again, it's not over yet. It sadly continues. But good morning, everyone. And yes, it's good to be here. And to reiterate the points I was listening while I was driving, and to reiterate those points that were made, it's extremely important that whatever efforts that are being made to assist at the current time Jamaica, that they be, that word you used just now, you repeated, coordinated.
Yes.
And that they go through official channels. That's extremely, extremely important. We've seen this over many years now, and we can see what can go wrong if you have, there will be, as you mentioned, people popping up who don't mean Jamaica well. They mean to profit themselves, so we need to be careful what we do. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Okay. So we throw the mic over to the leader.
Thank you, OC. So just circling back, first let me as well send out, I do, like many of us, have friends, and I have quite a bit of family in Jamaica, and we understand how everyone feels. There's quite a bit of anxiousness amongst our Jamaican diaspora here in Cayman, trying to make contact first and foremost. And so our thoughts are with them, our prayers are with them in Jamaica in its entirety. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the good Lord and to count our blessings that we are not the ones in this position, and also to say to the Cayman Islands that as the leader of the opposition, I had the opportunity or the responsibility to sit on the National Hazard Management Executive, which started meeting from late last week, middle of last week, and the preparations were well in place if we had to face any of this storm. And I just want to thank the many people who I know worked tirelessly with the reports coming out on time every evening. every day, every morning. I know that, I sat in meetings every day with them. After our meetings, they would have to go off and have several other subcommittee meetings and other meetings. So everyone from the uniform services down to the weather office, meteorologist office, to all of the hazard management team and the executive, I want to say to them thank you, and say to the Cayman Islands that, as well as we could prepare as a country, we were prepared to face this. I also want to reiterate, OC, that we have to be coordinated in our efforts. This is from experience. I had the, fortune or the misfortune to be the president of the Chamber of Commerce 2 days before Hurricane Ivan hit.
Wow.
It was the last event held at the Hyatt, and that was Wednesday night, and Hurricane Ivan hit that weekend. So I've been, on the forefront of the receiving end of support, and understood how important it was to be organized. And I can say back then, we were not nearly as organized as we are now.
That is so true.
And coordinated in dealing with an issue or any sort of disaster. I also had the opportunity to be on the exec with Rotary when they had the earthquake in Haiti. And I know firsthand, again, how disastrous it can be if efforts are not coordinated. And then, of course, recent times with Jamaica and Eastern Caribbean, there are documented reports, pictures of hundreds and hundreds, I should say thousands of pounds of clothing and useless materials that just kind of clog up the supply chain, where in this instance, the first responders need to get priority things once they find out on the ground what that is. And that's usually around shelter, healthcare, and food and water. So, let us wait and hear. I know that the Rotary clubs locally are well organized. Rotary as a region, in fact, are well organized. I'm sure Lions are mobilizing and all the other service clubs as well. I know that the government has been putting a lot of time and effort locally into that. So just stay tuned to the local channels. Contact your Red Cross, contact your service club, contact the government if you want to be a part of it. But make sure that our efforts are coordinated and that they're targeted, so that we're not just throwing sand into the wind and not trying to be helpful, but in actual fact, creating chaos and creating hurdles for persons that are doing it properly to get the supplies through. So again, we'll watch as today goes along, and we continue to pray for Jamaica and Cuba and the Bahamas and all those affected in our region by this terrible storm.
Turks and Caicos as well, which is another one.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Mr. Cornell, obviously, this is the top priority right now in a lot of people's minds, but we have to be able to ride and whistle. We have the sitting of Parliament, which is on the 5th of November, where we'll be dealing with the country's future for the next 2 years with the budget, as well as a expected, well talked about immigration bill, which is expected to be within that sitting as well. So we are preparing in the official opposition for a response to the budget. I must say that after much discussions and seeing what transpired with the strategic policy statement to debate, I'm hoping that we're going to hear from each individual minister, because each one of them going to probably have well over $100 million of responsibility, and the lack of guidance of the spirit of where they're taking their policies has to be delivered, in my humble opinion, by each minister, so we can be confident that they are aware of what they're doing, and it's not just a bunch of words in a document. So I'm looking forward to hearing from each member. We are obviously going to respond. Our leader is going to respond on behalf of all of us as to how we feel about the numbers, the monies. I think we've expressed a little bit of that already publicly with the SPS going into the numbers, because the policies are a little different. I think the biggest thing was the monies associated with it. and we will critique that. The other thing I think we need to possibly discuss this morning, not in very great detail because we're still waiting for final presentation on the immigration bill. I want to say thank you to, on behalf of the leader and the rest of the opposition, the ministry and the chief officer for helping present the bill, which is a very extensive one, going through clause by clause. We're kind of 75% there and going through the rest of it on Friday. There's some things that we have a little concern about, but we will explain that once we've finished the presentation, because it would be premature to do that beforehand. And to go through that. Unfortunate thing with all the things that are happening now is that they're meeting the bare minimum public consultation process. And so they're not doing anything wrong, but with the sensitivities around it, I was hoping for more opportunity, particularly with the public. I was just listening to you announce the fact there's a public meeting on Thursday. Was looking forward to actually the public meetings of government talking to the public about the immigration bill. But now, naturally, our focuses are on relief for Jamaica and other countries that are affected when a very important bill is before us that can affect our economy, our way of life, our population, all kinds of different things from this immigration bill. So I don't want this one to just slip through the cracks unnoticed and unfiltered or unexamined. So there's a little bit of concern about that. Some people are questioning, why would you throw this bill on the back end of a budget? Because obviously a budget is a very extensive process that needs to be considered and examined, and we're forced to now examine both things that are very significant in a very short period of time when our efforts have been split amongst many very important things going on from the official opposition, which actually take an opportunity to thank the government for finally accepting that the official opposition needs support to be able to deliver these things. But I think you need to go to break and we can talk about those further.
Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Member of Parliament, Mr. Roy Tatum, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, and Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Joey Hugh. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, you got a great
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we have in the studio with us members of the opposition in the person of Mr. Roy Tatum, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, and the leader of the opposition, Mr. Joey Hugh. Again, they're on here until 10 o'clock, only for an hour, simply because they agreed to come on late so that we could have representatives from Hazard Management, Cayman Islands, as well as the Red Cross, and also have on the phone Dr. Joseph Marzuka, who's the honorary counsel representing the government of Jamaica here in the Cayman Islands as well. So again, thanks for them to them for allowing those conversations to take place. Yepman, over to you.
Thanks, Josie. Before we continue into the conversations going on, if I could just add my thanks as well to those that were already given by the leader and the deputy. With thanks to the folks at the NRA for the excellent work that they did over time, trying to make sure the drains were cleared. I know they were taking calls, messages from myself, and acting on them when I wasn't the only one. I'm sure they were. I'm sure these two gentlemen across the table from me were also standing, as well as all of the MPs. So kudos to them, hats off to them. I know they worked extremely hard, and not just regular hours, but overtime as well, trying to make sure that we were prepared in terms of the drains as best as we could. So hats off to them and thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, also just leading back, and the deputy spoke about the recent announcement at the chamber luncheon by the Premier about the support for the office of the Leader of the Opposition. Mm-hmm. And so, again, we're excited to hear. We have a press release that came out late yesterday evening. We're thankful for the gestures and the announcement. We want to say that, this is important as far as democracy, that the office of the opposition has the resources to be able to properly represent the country and represent His Majesty's opposition. Mm-hmm. This is nothing new. It's advanced, but it's not new. This was recognized way back in, I think, when Mr. Miller was the leader of the opposition in 2017.
Yep.
In 2017, and Mr. Miller advocated for an office of the leader of the opposition that the public could feel free to visit and meet with opposition members, etc. Mm-hmm. And so Sir Alan McLaughlin at the time was Premier. He funded it through his ministry, and they opened an office on Smith Road, and that continued on as the office of the leader of the opposition. In 2021, when the PPM became the opposition, it continued with one employee being Mr. Tatum.
That was me. That was me.
Mr. Roy Tatum.
That's right.
And Sir Alden and Mr. McTaggart, who was the leader of the opposition at the time, joined forces and rented what was the leader of the opposition's office on Crew Road. And during that time, we developed the parliamentary act, which saw the parliament gaining its independence from as a separate arm of the executive. And I think because things were working during that, none of us thought about it was put in the act specifying that the leader of the opposition office should have support, and it says as laid out in the schedule.
Okay.
However, we didn't put anything in the schedule. And so once Mr. Tatum resigned to contest the 2025 elections, that fell away. And so we found ourselves after the elections with a wonderful MP for Red Bay, Mr. Tatum, but no staff for the party, for the leader of the opposition. And so then we made an application to the Speaker asking for funding for an office and for the same amount of staff that a minister has for their constituency office. That's what we wanted for the office of the Leader of the Opposition. Unfortunately, it was voted down in the Parliamentary Council meeting, citing budget concerns. But once the magic happened that there was no longer a deficit and they had a surplus, we started having discussions once more about the office. And it's important. I want to thank my deputy, Mr. MP Bryan, for the hard work he put into it. He did a lot of research throughout the region, overseas territories. Even Montserrat has a funded office for the leader of the office of the Leader of the Opposition. Many overseas territories in the UK, the offices are actually in the Parliament itself, and it's fully staffed. Outside of that, it is generally recognized that the office of the Leader of the Opposition should not be a constituency office. It should be a neutral office that anyone who wants to make representation to the opposition should be able to visit there, free of being saying, oh, that guy is in with the PPM now, or in with the whomever. And so we provided all of that in our arguments, and we again put it on record that we look forward to the final details of it, but we want to thank the government for agreeing to advance our democracy. It's a healthy way for us to move forward. As we have said, if we don't have the support, we then have to go to private sector. And then if we have to go to private sector, then you're talking about special interests or people that feel, hey, I'm helping you out with this. I want, it has to go my way, or, I want something back in return. So it ensures the independence of the office of the opposition, and it ensures that we are fully capable to present, as we would like to see, more of a cooperative style of opposition versus an adversarial style.
So for those who didn't hear the announcement, what exactly was said?
It was announced at the you know what? I was not there, so I'm going to ask one of the two gentlemen that were actually at the luncheon so that I'm not misquoted.
So what I recall was it was confirmed that there would be two staff. Opposition would have two staff available to them, and the government was looking for an office space somewhere now amongst whatever might be available within the government realm. Real estate, thank you. So they were hoping to find some place suitable. Okay, it needs to be suitable. It can't be an office in the government administration building, for instance. So it needs to be suitable so that you wouldn't have to pay out any more money. So if there's a space available that could be provided, then that would be the office. But so that's what we're waiting to hear back on.
Suitable
and again,
and
as
neutral,
you said, the final
location,
final details of the whole thing.
If I can say, Mr. Cornell, obviously I'm not as delicate as my leader is. I'm a more straight shooter. It's been a long time coming, and we were very reserved in our request. And you heard two staff, and I personally think the Premier, before making that announcement, is supposed to have spoke to my leader and explain what the parameters of that is, because there shouldn't be confusion. Two staff members to support the official opposition is, in my humble opinion, inadequate. When you think about the things that parliamentary members have to do, legal drafting, assessment of budgets, understanding them, you need professionals with financial expertise, legal expertise, in general parliamentary process and policy within the civil service. Those qualifications isn't like a constituency office. And now I know that I've been guided to take what you can when you can. I don't believe in that, because this is not one of those things where it's supposed to be, depending on how the government feels. This is the official opposition, and as I said many times before in the Barbados recent conference, the Honorable Mia Motley said something so profound. She said, democracy cannot walk on one leg, and opposition is the other leg for us to travel. And if it is limped in any way, we're not going to get very far. We talk about filtering the outcomes of what happens in parliaments and good governance. You have to have the filtering process working properly. And unfortunately, the opposition is a part of that scrutiny examination. And if you don't have the proper skill sets to do that properly, then your democracy is affected. And though we are getting 2 staff members, the details as to I know the parameters were similar to that of a minister having 2 members in their constituency. It's a totally different realm. Constituency office member is limited. They don't necessarily have to have particular skill sets. And the salary pay scale wouldn't qualify the same as you said. I need a lawyer with some legal drafting experience to be able to assist the honorable leader and the rest of the official opposition when examining dropping bills or examining bills as presented to the House and so forth, or vice versa, somebody with finance background to examine the budget, about the deficits and so forth. Thankfully, normally what happens is you elect people with those skill sets, like the Honorable Roy McTaggart, who has had decades of experience within the finance industry through accounting, and we use those skill sets. But like the leader has said, we don't want to have to go outside of the realm of our democratic process because people will have their own vested interests. So I'm still awaiting, and obviously we'll do so through my leader, await to hear exactly what the parameters of those 2 members are. And again, I think it's inadequate because when you think about the office of the premier, the accessibility to deliver policy, governance, and the constitutional role that they have access to over 3,000 civil servants. Now, I'm not suggesting we get the same, but if you just think about when going to cabinet, matter of fact, you know this quite well, what access to any policy, any legislation, any budget or finance requirements you can call the DG's the AG's office, you can call Kenneth Jefferson's office to go through the numbers. You have many chief officers and policy advisors to go through that process. Now,
but do you think that that's comparing apples with apples? Because the role of the opposite. But 2 things that we have to go to commercial break. But I'll drop this on the table now. Two things. Is it support for the leader of the opposition, or is it support for the opposition in general? That's number one.
For the office of the leader of the opposition, so it's opposition in general.
Well, no, not really.
Yes,
if it says the office for the leader of the opposition, and say that does not mean the same thing as the office of the opposition.
Mr. O.C. Yeah, and I know that you're presenting your case, but what we're trying to establish is what the convention is in the Commonwealth, and it's for the office of the opposition, which means that it's not only the leader, it's for all members to go there to do
Let's
their
go
job.
to that commercial break, and then when we return, we'll talk a little bit more about that, in relation to, while the opposition is there, and if you compare the, let's say, the office of the premier with the office of the opposition, while our Constitution allows, for private member bills and stuff like that to take place, what the opposition will be doing and the government will be doing on a realistic basis, almost like chalk and cheese. Let's take that commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. We're getting into some good debate here this morning. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Your mornings just got a whole lot buzzier. Join me, Kathy Miller, every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. on The Buzz, Radio Cayman's morning talk show with insight, impact, and inspiration, covering business, policy, finance, health, culture, and the biggest local and global issues impacting our Cayman community. With fresh perspectives from younger generations to stories of inspiration from local entrepreneurs. Tune in and turn up Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 7:30 to 9:30 with me, Kathy Miller, on The Buzz. The Buzz.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Member of Parliament, Mr. Roy Tatum, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, and Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Joey Hugh. Gentlemen, back over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, OC. When we took the break, we were discussing the technicalities of it, I guess. But it's important that you understand that each constituency representative, whether opposition or government, have a constituency office. So if you want to go and see a representative for your constituency, you can go to those offices. I think the term, the office of the leader of the opposition, it's a play on words, but it's just basically saying that if you want to go and advocate nationally for a change in legislation, amendment in legislation or something, this is, and you're not getting anywhere with the government, this is the office you go to. It could also be an office that whistleblowers go to. It can be an office that when we have to
visiting officials from
the UK, etc. It's always confusion. Is the Parliament available for us to meet?
Yeah.
Is there a conference room at JB for us to meet? So there's all of these things, but there's also a lot of work that goes on in the background. And even when we do draw, which we have to, even with the staff, we'll have to draw on those within our circles that have expertise. Even putting them all together in one place can become a challenge. And so it's just elevating the opposition to the point where they can do their job properly. It doesn't matter who, and today it's the PPM. You don't know who it's going to be next, right? So this is going forward. This is something that will be for all oppositions moving forward, and I'm sure that it will grow. When we were in Barbados for the 68th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association International one, 2 weeks ago, the deputy and myself, each time we spoke about it, everybody was in awe. From the smallest of parliaments that only have 7 people and are all in the government and 1 opposition, they have support. In a lot of parliaments, including as big as Trinidad, I think it was, their support is within the parliament. There's a couple hundred parliamentary staff that the opposition have full access to. And they actually have House committees that the government has to submit their budget to first before submitting it to the House. And the House committee has to look at that budget. So, there's various different ways. A lot of them believe in these House committees, which really puts, that's a gap between the elected government, the government of the day, and bringing legislation and budgets to the parliament. They have to go through a parliamentary house committee made up of lawyers, accountants, whatever the case is, and those same persons are available to the opposition. Right? But across the board, and including recently, and I think I know that in the Premier's comments at the Chamber luncheon, he recognized the visiting dignitaries in the room who were here for the post-election seminar, who were also surprised to know that the Office of the Opposition did not have any support, and raised it during the seminar on a few occasions.
Okay.
And so
that's the listening audience, because they may not be aware of who those folks were, but they were individuals, elected individuals from Woodlade, from Jersey, one
clerks
from Scotland,
and speakers, yeah.
The clerk, senior clerk from Trinidad, and then
the lady from Trinidad was a legal advisor. She was a lawyer, but a legal advisor to the Trinidad Parliament. Yeah.
Okay.
To the clerk.
To the clerk.
Oh, to the clerk. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know,
so even the clerk in Trinidad had a legal advisor. Yeah. So these are different levels, and everything has to be. And as you said earlier, everything has to be at scale.
Yeah.
Right. But when we look at the government have, and let's talk about the office of the Premier. The office of the Premier has all of the ministers and their ministries and the ministry staff. But then also within his or hers office, they have political appointees as well, which, I don't know where the number is, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. And so they have the Attorney General's chambers as well to consult with. So they have quite a bit of resources there. But I think at the end of the day, it's important that when there has been a lot of talk about this cooperative style of government between the opposition and the government. The Westminster system is adversarial as it's designed to be. But there has to be room in such a small country for us to work together towards the betterment of the country. And this is one of those things. This should not be political. This shouldn't be, don't give them nothing. They don't deserve nothing, right? If you give them something, they're gonna be a tougher opposition to us. That shouldn't be, because again, this is for the betterment of the country. This is also there for the future. Those same persons on the other side saying that may be in opposition after the next election. And they'll find and understand that. And I think that was one of the big hurdles, is that a lot of those persons there are new or second term, have never been in opposition, understand the role of the opposition and the challenges that the opposition face. Because people on a daily basis look at us, call on us to represent them as well, even though we're not in the government.
Yeah.
And if I could add just quickly, in my view, but the stronger, better the opposition is, chances are the stronger, better the government will be. Because that old expression, iron sharpen iron, and that those folks were visiting last week, from Scotland and Jersey, the UK. One of the things that they kept emphasizing, the visit was for the post-election seminar that I gather happens for new parliamentarians. One of the things that they kept emphasizing was the importance of scrutiny. Scrutiny of the executive, scrutiny of the government. That is one of the prime roles of the opposition. In larger parliaments, that is also a role of the backbench members of the government. If they're unhappy with the government, they will make the government known. Smaller parliaments like us, we will, almost all the backbench, if not all the backbench, becomes intricately part of the government. Even sits sits in for the minister when the minister is away. So you don't have a backbench as you do in larger parliaments that can actually help to also hold their own government to account to some degree, maybe behind the scenes. But that is one of the primary roles of the opposition. And our budget is now $1 billion or whatever it is a year.
More than $1 billion.
More than $1 billion a year. So that is not a small amount, right? So it's important, hugely important that the opposition as we grow as a democracy, have the ability to do the job well, and for that to keep improving. So,
Mr. Connor, if I can just
sure.
I know you like support on what precedents are. And I know you know what the Erskine May is, right?
Yep.
It's the Holy Bible of Parliament.
Can't afford to buy it, but
yeah, it's about $900 for the book. But just for the listening audience, the Erskine May is the book that follows the rules of Commonwealth for examples as to the UK Parliament, how they operate. And in it, under the official opposition on paragraph 416, if you were to ever get a handle on it or access to it online, if you just put in official opposition and you go down, it speaks to it. It says, since 1975, the official opposition has been entitled to financial assistance known as short money, in quotations, to help meet, among other expenses, the running costs of the office of the Leader of Opposition. The Leader of Opposition is also provided with a suit of office at the Westminster Building. Now, again, this is convention that has been established, and the part that disturbs me, as you heard, and I know they just went over your head, because sometimes many members want to be gentle. I'm a little bit different. We voted on this in the Parliamentary Management Council. It's a council set up to talk about how things are run in Parliament and the balance of things and support. And the government voted against giving the support. After explaining to you the importance of not only convention, constitutional acknowledgement within our Cayman Constitution, why would the government vote against it? It gets into the politics of things. Right? And I don't think that is right. I'm going to ask for something that is specific to the elected members. This is about democracy and the best outcome for the people. And when you have a leader and a government that says, we welcome that because we want to work together and it's the best interest, I wonder and I question the motive, because I was surprised when the Premier said what he said without talking to the leader and saying, okay, let's iron this out. Because
this was said after it had been voted down in the Parliamentary Committee.
We've been going through this. I'll back off. We've been going through this for quite some time.
It was said after, and I must, as I said earlier, that once it was revealed that we were not, and the main reason they said they could not support it was because of budget. But then after that, it was revealed that we did not have we were not facing a deficit. Then we raised it again to say, well, if this is obviously not about budget, so it must be political. So let's start. And we started discussions again. However, we had not gotten any confirmation other than when he announced it at the chamber.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
When you choose Cineco Motor Insurance, you're not just getting coverage. You're joining a community that cares about protecting you and your loved ones. Why Cineco? Personalized coverage tailored to your needs. 24/7 claim service, always just a call away. And peace of mind with CARE roadside assistance for flat tires to towing anytime, anywhere in Cayman. Ready for a quote? Visit Cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step, from diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
For the record, with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. Only 1 hour because the opposition gave us an opportunity to have Hazard Management Cayman as well as the Red Cross, and also to speak with Dr. Joe Marzuka, the Honorary Consul to Jamaica here in the Cayman Islands. I believe we do have a caller on WhatsApp. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Okay, and good morning to those who are in the studio with you this morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Well, I'd just like to warn you all that if governments continue to allow landowners to fill in land that God created to hold water, that is going to be the destruction of the Cayman Islands. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. One more caller on the landline, and that's going to be the calls for morning. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Mr. O.C., and good morning to the elected members of the opposition. It's Johan Moxham. Hope you guys are doing well.
Morning.
Morning.
Thanks.
Always interesting listening to you guys. Thanks for educating and giving us the other side. I think, you guys actually have done a lot to try and balance and educate. Like, I think I read a lot, but I don't necessarily, follow the inner workings of Parliament because I don't necessarily have to. But thank you very much for, when you guys make your observations and you basically just share with the public. This is how it's supposed to work. Because some of us think we know, but we really don't. And when you guys come on, it's always useful on a Wednesday. So thanks a lot for that. But I was just going to make the point, and again, this isn't about being adversarial. This is just about asking a genuine question. I think, when you look at Mr. Bryan, MP Bryan mentioned what the sort of rules are and what Erskine May says and how it's supposed to be, and, the way that we're supposed to strive to provide government and opposition with balance and support, which makes perfect sense. It just makes sense if you want a properly functioning sort of democratic process or parliamentary process. So no issues with that. But the question that I've got is, we've had the PPM that was in government from 2013 to 2021. For all things being considered, the same issues that you guys are advocating for today, and you've been successful in achieving a result via the goodwill and the collaborative process of your request being, accepted by the current administration. And I think that would be the premiere from what I read in the press somewhere. But what's taken us so long to get to this stage? Because if you guys were in power for 2 terms, 2013 to 2021, the same issues that you guys are addressing or had concerns about existed for the opposition then. So
yeah, I can answer that.
I'm just saying that wasn't a priority then, and so I would just say, in the spirit of objectivity, you can't cry and complain about not getting support when you guys were the kings.
But that's not the case, Mr. Mox.
So, one second. So it was a priority, and it started with us going to the UK to advance our constitution, to to create a parliament rather than a legislative assembly, and that opened the door for us to create the Parliamentary Act, which then allowed for these sorts of decisions to be made in the Parliament to support things like this, including, and the parliamentary staff has grown tremendously since then. And in advance of that, you may not have been on earlier when we said that the Sir Alden, when he was Premier, actually funded out of his ministry, anticipating that this would be a part of the Act. He funded the office of the Leader of the Opposition from 2017 to 2021. So we did, in fact, act on it in 2017.
And it continued after 2021.
And it continued, yeah.
No problem. I'm just making the point that if we're going to do things in the best interest of Cayman and Caymanians, and I agree and I support, and I think it's necessary for you guys to have the tools and the resources to do your job effectively so that the process works for everybody, right? So all I'm saying is we spend a lot of time making sure that the other side is disadvantaged. I'm grateful that, logic has prevailed and you guys are now going to be given resources and tools so that helps you, help us, help the country better. And that was the moral of the story, because it takes too long to make the right decisions to help our people when it's all based on politics, egos, and dislike of personalities. I know I'm not a favorite of anybody's, especially you guys, but it's good to see that you guys are now given the tools so that you can do the job, and it's one less thing to whine and whinge about.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much for that. Gentlemen, we have about 2.5 minutes left.
So, OC, I have to do something very important before we go on. First, I want to say a happy birthday to a constituent, Mr. Thomas Bodden, whose birthday is coming up.
Okay.
But most importantly, OC, I want to say a huge happy birthday to my father, Evergreen Lenny Hugh. Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Lenny.
Saturday, we celebrated it with a football game. He played for 1 entire hour.
Wow.
On Saturday. And we had 3 generations of us out there playing football along with friends and families. And just want to wish him the continued health that he has celebrated. I won't say how many years, but it's if you put them side by side, 8 and 8, it matches up. But happy birthday, Dad.
In the interest of time, I just want to quickly say I also want to congratulate and wish Mr. Hugh Sr. A very special happy birthday. I actually envy the Hugh family on how they go about things. It's such a special way of doing it, and Mr. Hugh's effect on the Cayman Islands is going to be continued to be historical. I watch him in awe of everything he does from the past to the present to still being in effect even up to now. So happy birthday again to him. I just want to close by saying that the youth parliamentarians, the chairman of the youth parliament and my colleague Roy is also a member of that committee. We're having our opening ceremony function for the youth parliamentarians at the governor's residence tomorrow evening. So I want to apologize. I will not be at the Tortuga meeting that will be trying to raise support for Jamaica, not because I don't want to be there, because I do think we have to come together and help Jamaica in their response to Melissa. But as chairperson, I have to be at the governor's residence tomorrow for their opening function, as these youth parliamentarians are the future. And with that being said, thank you, OC, for having us on the show, and thank the callers for calling in.
Okay, Mr. Tatum.
Yeah, thanks so much. Just 2 things, but with regards those young people in the youth parliament, I mean, I'm just amazed at how eager they are, and that bodes well. That bodes well for our future. Just 2 things. Family Fun Day at the Sanchez Park, November 10th. I think that's the holiday Monday. 3:30 p.m. if memory serves me correct. I'll be I've announced already. I'm making some more announcements, but also on Halloween, please stop by my MP office, 33 Marina Drive. I'll have some treats there from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And looking forward to seeing the kids as they stop by. And thanks very much again.
Okay, and again, happy birthday to Miss Catherine Mirage, who celebrates her 100th birthday today as well. And we did announce that earlier.
Wonderful.
Gentlemen, again, thank you. Thank you for being here. And again, I may sound like a broken record, but I think it's extremely important to acknowledge the fact that you did give up, at what normally start at 8:15. So at least 45 minutes, of your time that you would have been on here to allow us to talk about the Hurricane Melissa relief effort that is taking place, and to talk with representatives from the Cayman Islands Red Cross, the Hazard Management Cayman, and Dr. Joe Marzuka from the council.
Mr. Connor, I'm going to steal 30 seconds.
Okay.
As you know, the immigration bill is before us, and we are currently examining that in response on behalf of the official opposition.
Mm-hmm.
If you in the public have a viewpoint on it, I think the document has been circulated. Please feel free to reach out to any one of the members of the opposition. We would love to hear your views on it and different perspectives. You can send the details at info@ppm.ky if you have a viewpoint for us to consider when we respond on behalf of the official opposition.
Okay.
Thank you.
And one more thing, Mr. Bryan, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Bryan, one of our listeners, of course, not only a listener, but sometimes a co-host here on For the Record as well, shared the same thing that you shared. In the UK, the official opposition receives public funding for its offices and parliamentary work through a system called short money to ensure opposition parties have resources to effectively scrutinize government. Coming from Alan Steve Macfield, known as Dr. Macfield.
And the reason it's called short money is named after the individual who brought forward and argued the case for it.
Okay, great. Folks, have a great day. Don't forget, we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and we need to extend a helping hand to them. In this particular case, it is the people of Jamaica after being devastated by Hurricane Melissa. We urge you to do all that you can through official channels where possible. Some of you may also have personal interest where you have individuals that you want to reach out to. Please do that, as well. Because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So have a great day. Continue to support your radio station. Join Mr. Charles Glidden-Challow at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
If they are talking about us.
Living in your head rent-free all this time.